Hey guys, if you listen loud enough, you can hear the ice cream truck. Because if you're in my neighborhood, you can't unhear the ice cream truck. Welcome to Day 9 Daily, number 625, where we're going to learn today to be a better gamer. So, let me tell you about what today's topic is. We saw Jaedong suck versus Protoss for most of his career. And then all of a sudden, through working really, really hard, he looks amazing in that matchup. He went like 2-0, 3-0 against almost everybody, including LGIMFirst in the semifinals. So we're going to take a look at those games today to see if we can pick up why he is so awesome. Watching all three of them, pretty different the way that the games pan out, but a lot of the same themes in there, and looking quite sexy. So we're going to do that. Another exciting news, I got a phone. Here it is. My old one broke. There's a button. Kind of cool to have a button that you can actually remove from the... Well, I guess you can actually see the plate there that I guess it connects to. So this worked for a little bit of time. This actually worked like this. It functioned fine, but let me tell you something. Playing iPhone games where you have to drag your finger hurts because it's actually like a broken glass shards going into your finger, but that's fine. I dedicate my life to gaming, and if it takes a pointer finger or two to get to the next level, I'm in. In other exciting news, I'm going to be playing Half-Life 2 today, or Friday. I'm not going to be playing Half-Life 2 today. I'm going to be playing Half-Life 2 on Friday. SE2L's tomorrow, and of course, in about 11 days is going to be DreamHack Bucharest, where I'll be in attendance casting the SC2L finals. Anything else going on? No! Alright, let's go ahead and hop into things, shall we? I hope you're having a great Tuesday. I'm very excited because we get to see a little bit of the dong in today's match. And in fact, in case some of you don't know how to find enough of the dong, if you go to day9.tv, yeah, there it is. Here's the website. See, I just typed it in that URL bar right there. If you go to the show page, which you can access right here, or if you're looking, you just click on Archive. And then there's every video I've ever done there. And it even has a search bar. So let's just type in a number. 222. Oh my god, it's Sen versus In Control is number 222. Nice. Okay, going home. But if you click on this, I have a link to the replay pack right there. So you can click and it'll open up this web page where you can find the replay pack and all the new GG tracker statistics things. Just wanted you to know, and you know, let me actually close this so that way I don't have a stream of myself streaming. Don't you dare say the joke. I know the word that you want to say, but don't. See if you can resist it. Anytime there is an object inside of another object, you know what you want to say. If there was a glass inside of this glass, yes, Dreamception. Oh, damn it. It'd be like Glassception. If there was like a pepper stuffed with peppers, you'd call it Pepperception. Like, it doesn't matter. No matter how dumb it sounds, you're going to say it, and some weird endorphin mechanism in your body is going to flood you with a little bit to make sure you get rewarded for it. Why would it do that? There's hair in your hair. You don't call it hairception, do you? What does it even mean, hair in your hair? None of you know. You just wanted to say hairception. Oh, Pepperception actually sounds pretty cool, says chat. Wow. Dreadlocks are hairception. Good. Let's talk about the ZvP matchup by looking at this screen. I'm not going to talk about it from the Zerg point of view, because to understand the Zerg point of view, we have to understand what the Protoss buddies are up to. So we can think about Protoss strategy in terms of how getting the third works. There's a whole slew of cheesy type things that the Protoss player can do, but let's assume that he's going to be at least somewhat reasonable and go for a semi-fast expansion. Whether it be a Forge first expand or a 1-gate expand. Both are pretty economic. Now, if your opponent goes for a gateway first fast expand, he's going to be cutting himself a little low on units, and will need cute ways to defend this third. If he's going for an early expand straight away, he's going to have a few more units. that he can use to take this third, but by and large, the units that will be used to defend the third will be about the same. I think the biggest difference between a gate-first expand and a forge-first expand, functionally speaking, is that the forge-first expand is going to have some more minerals to play with, and the gate-first expand is going to wind up with a lot of gateway units faster. So you have to worry about the faster attacks. But in terms of the relative size of these armies, you're still going to see Protoss players trying to deal with a lot of ling and hydralisk stuff with Colossus. You're still going to see them dealing with roaches largely with immortals, or maybe blink, or maybe void rays. It doesn't really matter what the exact opening is. The answers from Protoss still wind up being the same. This is going to be very significant as we step in, as we begin playing the game. Oh, I have my volume turned up nice and loud. You hear it? Alright, I'm turning it back down again. So, the big strategies that we're going to see our little Protoss players rely upon are going to rely on either air units to be able to get this third, or they're going to rely on robo units to be able to get this third. There are Twilight Council plays, like Blink with Sentry, or Dark Templar Rush into Expand. But if a player does that, he's still pretty rapidly going to need to get the Robo facility up. So I'll just leave it at that, so we don't overcomplicate things. Can you hear the ice cream truck? You can turn up your volume right now to hear it. Who gets ice cream at 7:14 p.m.? Honestly, you don't need ice cream that late. You'll get all farty before bed. Alright. Okay, who gets ice cream from a truck at 7:16? Alright, 14. That's the real question, right? It's not who wants ice cream. Will probably eat ice cream at any point. You could wake up in the middle of the night with a spoonful of ice cream and put it in me, and I'll swallow it. But I'm not going to get up and go to a truck in the middle of the night. I'm not even going to do it past when the sun starts to set. So, alright. Let's jump into things. So we know that this Protoss player is going to be going for this third pretty quickly, and is going to be using something cute to defend. Something cute, and by cute I mean void rays. Oh, you cannot strike me from the air. Or immortal / Colossus. Ah, I have force fields as well. Ah, you cannot deal with it. Every now and again, players will try to take this with very few units. Why would they do that? Because they're about to get void rays, or they're about to get the Colossus. Still same thing. We all cool? Mainly Colossus, or mainly Robotech, or Stargate Tech is how players are getting their third base up. Now let's see how the Jaedong is going to be answering this. Let's see how the Jaedong lays it on down. So he goes for a hatch first, which is fine. You know, you end up in some trouble if he begins to cannon rush, but you can cancel and like expand, and be pretty much okay. So first he's doing this sort of usual wall off, and I just want to note right away how smart First is going to play this off. Notice that he's built a gateway. But why is there no cannon? Because he wants to get his double gas done immediately. And now he's going to be building that cannon. It is so hard to focus with that truck out in the background. Holy cow. So there's a lot of corners being cut from First. He's setting himself up very nicely. So first thing that we're going to see out of Jaedong is that he's just going to be getting his third hatch pretty quickly. Exact timings we're not going to go through. Broad concepts, totally going to go through those. So yeah, Jaedong is getting up his queens. The unusual thing is this extractor that goes down at around 4:15. Just after the 4-minute mark, an extractor goes down. So we see the scouts from the Zerglings moving out. No real detection on what the Protoss is up to. Doesn't know if Protoss went gate first, early expand, has no idea. but has spotted this probe. This is a pretty essential moment in the early game. I talked about a lot of cheesy things that Protoss could do that we're not going to go into great depth on, but if you spot this early probe, you can push back a lot of the early cheeses. Did they get a new speaker on the truck? This is the loudest truck in America, I think. Alright. Alright, so Jaedong spots his opponent. Oh, it's an early expand. Great. With the early gate will come an early core, and with the early core comes the opportunity to get early tech structures up, such as a Stargate. So Jaedong will be mining just enough gas to begin his speed. So I'm going to come to the Dong cam. Camera of the Dong. So, we talked a little bit about the two big ways that a Protoss is going to take this expansion. Either with Void Rays, so that way, oh, roaches and lings, you can't shoot at me, I got the Void Rays. Or Colossus, or excuse me, or Robotech plus Force Fields. Those are really the two. Stargate for Void Rays, or Robo with Force Fields. I did say that actually every Zerg player knows that there's huge gateway attacks that can come up right now. But if you hold off a huge gateway attack, you're just in prime position to win, period. So we don't need to think about that as a big, long, evolving strategy. Instead, we really are just going to be thinking about the Stargate and the Robo. Now, the statement I just said is false if you're at really, really, really high levels, but I highly doubt anyone who is in Code S is watching the daily right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the blanket statement. Think of it in terms of, is he going Robo or is he going Stargate to defend this third base? So a couple of lings are getting built before 7 minutes. And why 7 minutes? Just to deal with the what-if scenario of the Protoss player going for a gateway rush. Let's get some lings up so we can do a little scouting up along in these areas and a little scouting down below in these areas. Okay, cool. So second gas geyser goes down. Close to 7. Just after 4 minutes, we get our first one. Just before 7 minutes, we get our second one. And here is the cool play that makes me go, ooh, that I like a lot. Jaedong is doing this upon seeing nothing. Nothing at all. He has no information as to what his opponent's doing, and yet he is electing to go straight away to the double evolution core. Oh my god. Let's think about why this is. Almost always when you get the double Evo core, it's going to be for ling upgrades. There's not a huge set of reasoning behind that. This is just a trend I'm describing. I'm sure it is conceivable that there are effective 1-1 upgrades for Roach Hydra, but Roach Hydra takes up gas, and to get upgrades early, you have to spend almost all your gas. So this is a really easy thing to do with lings, because you spend all your gas on the upgrades and then all the remaining minerals on the lings. Oh, no interruption. But why lings? Why lings on this map? Because, hey, this third base has a big open area here and an entrance there, and a secondary entrance here. Lings are very good on this map in general because it's a big map, it's fast, and I think that's about it. I mean, there's no reason to really overcomplicate it. Big distances, big spaces, lings should be good. Hey, the third base has some ability for the lings to do a little bit of damage. That's about it, and then we stop. So, question is our opponent going to be going for air with Stargate, or is he going to be going for Robo to defend this? Now, in this position, I don't want anyone to immediately conclude, aha, he's going Void Rays, I am understanding. He can go Void Rays, however, still very, very popular, and probably the most common build in this matchup is to go Phoenix, and then transition into Robo to defend this expansion. Now let's make a complicated statement, and then let's follow it up with a simple statement. You open up Phoenixes, so that way you can harass. You force your Zerg opponent away from going for Mutalisks, and you force him away from going things like Roaches, and you force him into building some anti-air like the Hydralisk, or like the Infestor, or hell, even the Corruptor is a possibility, but the Corruptor is not really a versatile choice. It's pretty specific. So what most players do then is they say, okay, if you're going to be forced low tech and you have to get Hydras or Infestors, I'm just going to rush for Colossus. The Phoenixes force a composition out of Zerg. The Colossus answers most of that composition out of Zerg. And we're not going to stay Colossus for a very long time anyways. It's just to get up the third base. Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. Let's make a simpler statement. First is still using robo units to defend his third. Remember, either Stargate units to defend the third, i.e. Void Ray, or robo units to defend the third with sentries. Like Colossus with sentries, Immortals with sentries. Often it's Colossus with Zealots, because you're a little low on gas having gone Phoenix, but you get the idea. So let's watch the way that Jaedong plays this one out. Okay, he now knows what is up, and he's going to do something that is phenomenal. So first and foremost, every object outside my house makes a lot of noise. Are you hearing this helicopter? Yeah, surprise! A helicopter. I hope that they're like landing on the ice cream truck and like pulling it away. It's actually like some spy SWAT truck. There's no ice cream in there. They play that annoying tune so no one will go get any, but they got too many complaints from the city of Los Angeles because it was fucking loud. And they're like, quickly, helicopter out the team. They're like, oh my god, run! They're being carried away. Oh god. That's an NSA ice cream truck right there, man. Okay, so 1-1 Ling upgrades coming up. What is the answer? Normally, players are trying to get up a layer really fast to do all that kind of teching. Well, we don't have that option because we're going for the Lingy upgrades. So let's see the way that Jaedong breaks it down. No immediate answer, right? No immediate holy shit flood of anti-air. He waits a little bit. He waits till when? Around 8 minutes, because there's no way that First really has that many Phoenixes out. We mainly have Spore Crawlers to prevent Queens from being lifted. So no reason to rush for Spore Crawlers before he can lift and kill a Queen. We're going to talk through the Helichopper action, you guys. You guys! I mean, they show up. He gets lifted. Thank God for First providing me with Exhibit A. And, yeah, and then it lands and everything's going to be okay. So, after 8 minutes is when we begin to see Jaedong throw down all his Thangs. As he's throwing down the Spore Crawlers, he begins to throw down some gas. These Lings, with speed, totally going to go spot at the third. Oh, yeah. Hey, what do you know? There's the Robo that will be used to defend the expansion. Yeah! Day 9, Day 9. It appears that he plays StarCraft. In the meantime, look at all this mass freaking droning coming up. Just sticking with 4 geysers. Couple of drones getting picked off. Couple of Lings out, not a dramatic amount by any means. Mainly drones. Drones, drones, drones all the time. Drones, drones, drones. Just keep continuing to drone. Queen count is at, I think, 4. I think they're landing on the house. I don't know if it's safe. When we come back in part 2. No, okay, good. No. We're good. Okay, we're just gonna go. I want to get to 10 minutes. Here's what's nice about these Lings that were produced at the start. The Lings that were produced just before 7 minutes. And a few extra that we threw on afterwards, we can spot him heading to his third. We don't have to engage here. we can take opportunities to deal some damage. And I think that this was a big win because we eliminated a hell of a lot of energy here. And now here comes the cool part. Right around 10 minutes, Jaedong just floods a lot of lings. Tons and tons of lings. I mean, the layer's done. He's getting an infestation pit, which is great. I mean, he needs something to deal with the anti-air. He's getting a 4th hatch, which is great. But notice that key 66-ish drone count. We have over 16 mining minerals here. We have 16 mining minerals here. We have 16 mining minerals here. The lings that are getting produced just flood out. Nothing but lings, man. Just builds, rallies, and what do you know? What do you know? Speak of the devil, 1-1 just wrapped up. 1-1-1-1. There's 2-2 coming up. And what a perfect mixture to pick all of this off. What other than masslings? This is where we're going to pause because I want to note just one more thing that's going on here that really helps the lings out. What would really screw up lings in this position? Well, ordinarily zealots with a +1 upgrade, but hey, we've got 1-1. Yeah. What else would screw this up? A Colossus, but Colossus would be pretty easy to surround because if it's out here, we just pick it off as it's being rallied. If it was already here, we can still get a good surround because there's really not that many units here. There's a lot of ways for this to lose. In particular, if our opponent, if first, is going for Void Rays are just not that good against Zerglings. Yeah. See that 1-1 timing? That was good shit. When we come back, we're going to see how Jaedong plays this off. How he goes into the mid-game. Stay tuned, Joe! What do you know? It's Jaedong. Ah.